Hello guys, and welcome back to the DocMack car channel. And in today's video, what I'm going to do is a review and an installation and a how-to on a Blackvue DR750X 2CH Plus. So make sure to follow the whole video. This is going to be a full installation, a setup, and also a review of the footage as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so this is the Blackvue DR750X 2CH Plus. I bought this from drivercam.co.nz. So if you guys would like to actually purchase this one, any Blackvue Dashcam or any products from the drivercam.co.nz website, you can use the code DocMack to get 5% off your order. Now without further ado, let's get into this. Alright guys, so the models that they have for the X series is the DR590X, the DR750X, and the DR900X. Now, if you guys are wondering what this Plus means, it is the newer version with the upgraded CMOS sensor, which means it can absorb light and it's got good visibility of HDR, which means even in low lighting, or let's say your car's headlight is shining on another number plate, with the DR750X, it may not capture the plate very well at night. Now, if you use the Plus, then you do have much better video quality during the day and at night as well, and it's quite vivid. Now, when you talk about CH, the one CH means only one channel, which means just the front of your vehicle. So that means it'll be mounted right up here. And if you are going for the 2CH Plus or 2CH, that means two channel, which means it's one for the front and one for the back. Alright guys, so now I'm unboxing the DR750X 2CH Plus, and I'm going to unbox it. I've already taken out the seal. Now you'll be presented with the front dash cam, which is 60 frames a second, and the rear dash cam, which is 30 frames a second. They're both 1080p. So inside the box, you will have some gadgets here inside of plastic. So this one is your spudger, which I can show you what this will be used for. It's, let's say, if you want to tuck wires under here, this will help you tuck the wires so you can move this. So it's a very useful tool to have. You've got your sticker, which is for, let's say, if you're going to sell your dash cam and you're going to pull it out from the glass, this new buyer will use this. Your USB, and what this one is it's got a SD card reader here. So you plug this end into your computer and your SD card in here, and it'll read all your Blackvue data. Entry level SD card, which is your Blackvue 32GB. Now, if you do want to use parking mode, then I would definitely recommend to increase it at least to 128 or 256GB. This one is actually your little hooks. So let's say when you are doing the wiring later and there's not enough space up here, let's say right up here, there's some space. You're going to see what I'm going to do later. Now, if you don't have space up there, you can actually stick it up here and then you can route the wires through. So it's fairly easy. And you've got the rest of the things exactly the same in there. This is your Blackvue user manual, and it's fairly informative. It shows you exactly what you need to do, as well as what SD cards and where you should tap your power off. I'm going to tell you more about this one shortly. The first thing we have got is our coaxial cable, and then this is your DC 12 volt power outlet. So this is if you're just using your accessory power during driving, then you're going to use this. And this is your hardwiring kit. So for those of you who are wondering what this X means, it means that it's got a built-in voltage cutoff, which means, let's say when you are using this pack right here, you're actually going to hardwire this to your car's battery, and that X is a voltage cutoff, which means when your car's battery voltage drops to a certain number of volts, it will stop actually using the dash cam to save your car's battery. So if you look at this one, I'm going to pull it out. So these are clearly marked. You've got 3 wires right here. So the first wire you want to look at is your ground wire. Now the ground wire is basically just any bolt on the vehicle. You just need to bolt this and that'll ground your wire. This one is your battery wire, which means you want to tap into a fuse of your vehicle that uses constant power, which means when your ignition is turned off and you've got the key in your hand, then what you're going to use is you're going to use your battery power. So you want to tap this into a continuous power, such as your hazard lights or your door locks, although I would recommend that you tap it into your hazard lights because you don't want to mess around with your door locks. Now, it's very important that you don't tap into anything like airbags or anything like that. Now, your red wire is your ACC, which stands for accessory. So this is when your car ignition is turned into the first position, like so. That's your accessory position. And your accessory position, you can tap into things like your radio or anything which turns on with your accessory, or when it passes the ignition point and you start the car, then this is the wire that you need to use. Additional stuff you may need, this is just stuff I purchased separately, is painter's tape. Now, what my idea behind this is just to align it straight to the windscreen, which you're going to see me do later. If I put a tape line, I can align it very easily. And this is for your electrical tape if you're going to tap into the wires. This is a better view of the front cam. And what you do is you need to pull this one off. This is just a dust cap cover. Now, there's also a CPL filter, which I will get to in the next video. Now, this is just an overall view. So it's got REC, GPS, and LTE/Wi-Fi. Now, this is not an LTE model, but if at all you have got a phone which can hotspot, then you can also use that one. And this is the rear camera. Alright guys, so if we pull this little tab off, then you have got your USB slot, your direct current in, your Wi-Fi as well here, and that's your coaxial cable, and that one actually comes out, and you can expose that one. That's your SD card reader area. Alright, and then what you can do is there is a little lock release tab right here, which you can press, hold, and then you can take it out. So this one allows you to actually set up your camera, and then this one is going to mount directly onto your windscreen. Now, what I'm going to do, the reason I'm going to use the painter's tape is so that I can actually position the camera properly. And what you can do also is you can use the live view monitoring to actually choose exactly where you want to position it. Now, if you can see, the center of this one is right here, but the camera lens is right here. Now, I would recommend trying to get the camera lens somewhere around directly in the middle of the screen. Now, that would give you an exact congruent view between the left as well as the right. We are now on the outside of the vehicle. Now, I've placed the tape on the inside and a tape on the outside. So now, if the tape on the outside almost lines up with the tape on the inside, I'm trying to get it quite straight so that it's not lopsided. Now, once I'm happy that the gap in between the outside and the inside is the same, I'm going to pull this tape out, and then we're going to jump on the inside of the vehicle. Alright guys, so now I've got the tape lined up properly, and what I've done is I've asked somebody to go out on the outside of the vehicle, and I'm trying to position it to the center. So what I did was I got the camera up to about here, and then what I did was I marked a red color line. So now we have got our right hand angle, and that's how I'm going to fit it. Alright guys, so what I would also recommend is, it's your choice. If you want, you can use some isopropyl alcohol, and you can do a dilution of 50-50, or you can use it directly, but don't use too much. And this will be used to clean the glass. So you want to make sure that the glass is nice and clean first before you apply this product. Alright, so I'm pretty happy with that one. And now what I'm going to do is just made sure that the tape hasn't moved. That's good. And I'm going to remove the 3M tape. Although I do think that they should have actually put a peel off tape area here, which there isn't one. Alright, so now that this one has been peeled off, now the Pitasoft will be facing the correct way on the outside of the windscreen, so it'll look like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with my red color marking that I made. And what you want to do is you want to make sure that you stick the top first so that you've lined it straight, and then stick it very slow. And then you want to check on the outside of the vehicle whether it is straight before you actually press it down. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is I've got my Blackvue SD card. Remember, if you guys would like to use the parking mode, I would recommend something over 32 gigabytes, at least 128. So I've put that one in there now. And then I'm going to put this one back. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to run the power wire, which goes in here, and the coaxial cable, which goes in here. Alright guys, so this is the 12 volt power socket thing which you would put it into. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to test that everything works fine before I fit the parking mode. It really depends on where I can tap the fuse from. If it's at quite a hard to reach location or something where I'll have to bend my back because I'm fairly tall, I'm about 6'3", then I might get an electrician to do it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and fit it in here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the camera back in here, press the lock button, and then push it to click. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put the DC volt in here, which goes in only the one hole. There you go, it's initializing the SD card. So it is connecting to the power now, so that's good. There you go, it says Blackvue for your safe driving. And it's starting to record right now. Alright guys, so this is your coaxial cable. Take that one out. Alright, so you've got two ends. Now if you look at this end, it's a right hand angle end. Right here it says F for front, and this one is a direct one which is R for rear. And we're going to push it straight in like so. Alright guys, so that's your coaxial cable right there. Now what I'll do is I'll take out my power cable first so that I can adjust the coaxial cable to stick upwards. Then there's some space in between your headliner right here, and what you want to do is you want to push it all the way up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one of this right here, just to make sure that the cable sits properly in here. There we go. See, now it's not going to fall out. Take my trim tool and I'm going to just pull this one back a little bit. And tuck it in here. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you tuck it properly on this corner as well. There you go. And push the wire in so that it sits nicely in. There you go. So now it's cleanly tucked in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to route it right up here through the rubber. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in to the B pillar, and then we're going to show you what's going to happen at the back. Alright guys, now I've got the wires all routed down the back. I'm just going to peel off this little plastic here. Oh, I love the sound of that. Alright, and there's a little cap right here. We'll leave it on until we are all done. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it to the back of the glass. As you can see, we have routed the cable all the way up here, and it's come through the C pillar, it's come through to the A pillar, B pillar, and C pillar right down the back and up right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to stick this one. So you can use the same method as I did in the front by placing a tape, and then you can line it up. Alright guys, just to give you a rundown, and also consider subscribing to my channel. I do a lot of car how-to DIY videos as well. So this is the camera. Now you've got your power, which would go here. I would also route the power cables up here. It goes into your A pillar here, tucks in right over here, and then it goes to your B pillar. And then from your B pillar, it goes into the rubber right here, and then it'll go into your C pillar. What you need to do is you need to do a U-turn, go up and in here. Now the wire is long, so you may need to tuck up some wires right up here. Alright guys, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the Blackvue app with the camera. Now I've already installed it from the Play Store, and then what I need to do is click on open. Now what you want to do is you want to go connect to a camera. And that's the other camera of mine, so I want to add another camera on. Alright, so when I turn it on, the dash cam should power on. Alright guys, so what I had to do is I had to manually go and connect to it. So I had to manually enter the SSID and the password, and now it's connected, and you can see these are the recordings. So if I can go to settings and go to firmware settings, now I've got basic settings. The time, I can do the time, please back up all important recordings is fine. So the time is set to GMT plus 11, so that's fine. Then what you're going to do is you're going to go to the video, front, enhanced night vision, you always want it on. And then brightness, you can set it up, and the brightness you can set it up. Image quality, you can select normal, high, highest, or highest, which is the extreme. So you got two highest and highest extreme. So it's up to you which one you want to choose, but if you go highest extreme, then you'll need an endurance card or an extreme card, and highest would be, let's say, an endurance SD card. So I'm just going to leave that one for the I'm just going to put it at highest. Image quality highest. See, now it says parking mode is on, and then you can go and change the recording options. So you want normal recording and parking mode, whether you want it to be time-lapse. So I put motion and impact detection. And then what you can do is you can go voice recording, which you want it to have voice recording, kilometers per hour, and lock event files in detection. Okay, so you want to lock that one. And front camera rotation, you want to leave that, and you want to put your rear camera orientation. Let's say if you had mounted it upside down, you can rotate the video. Then you don't need to do that because I've already done it the correct way around. Sensitivity in normal mode, I would suggest not to put it very high, front to back. I would probably put it about a third. If not, it could potentially lock your files, and then you will have to reformat your card. Now in parking mode, the G sensor, I would suggest to put it 9 out of 10. And to use the parking mode, you do have to hardwire the dash cam. Motion detection in parking mode, 4 out of 5. We'll leave that one there. And what else do we have here? So I'm pretty sure that we can actually set the battery voltage cutoff. Battery protection is on. Cutoff timer. You don't want to set a timer, so you want to go, there you go. So the low voltage cutoff, you can, this does cater for 12 volt and 24 volt batteries as well. So myself personally, because I have a 12 volt car, so I'm going to go 11.8 volts, and that should give me plenty. I can still start the car and it'll give me plenty of recording. Alright, so those are some of the basic settings you can do, and there's also a live view setting which you can choose so that it can see you that you have mounted the camera properly. Now it's restarting because I've already made the changes. I'm going back in there, so you may have noticed that I've got two. That's because I've also got a single channel which I'm going to use on my other car. Now it's reconnecting back in again. It's currently inaccessible, that's because it's restarting. So after it restarts, we'll get back to this. When you're setting this one up, how do you know you have oriented the camera properly? You will have a live view mode here. So this is the live view of the front of the vehicle. Alright, so now this is the front. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it hold. And now that gives me a very good viewing angle. Now there's not too much reflections. You can see that's the rear of the vehicle. There you go, guys. That is the rear of the vehicle. As you can see, it's properly mounted and it shows me good details on the back of the vehicle. And then I'm going to go to the front, and you can see the front does give me good view as well. Alright guys, and now I'm satisfied with my install. I'm going to peel off this tape. There we go. So the camera is nice and straight, and you can see it from the outside as well. Alright guys, so now what I've done is I've put the parking mode wire and I've routed it all the way down here. The glass is quite hot because it's quite hot outside. Into this A-pillar airbag area. Down here all the way, and it's come down right here. Now I've pulled this one out from my fuse box under my dash. Now that's quite a hard area to get through to. So as you can see, these are some of the things I can tap off. Now you don't want to tap off something like airbags or anything like that, so most likely I'm going to let an electrician do that. It's a relatively easy thing. You just need to use fuse taps, but you actually got to tap it into the correct thing. Now because of my height, it is very difficult for me to get under here because I might probably injure my back. Alright guys, so that is the conclusion of the video, and as you can see, it's all been set up. So this one is just a temporary thing until I get the parking mode done. So that's the end of this video, guys. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I've got how-to DIY videos on my channel, including how you can fix your car, as well as how you can keep it nice and shiny.